Welcome everyone to another video, and today we're going to take a look at this very tanking team featuring the new #1 Pokemon in the Ultra League in the form of Bellibolt. So Bellibolt has access to Parabolic Charge, which just got buffed this season, becoming even more inputting more damage outputs, as well as having a 100% chance of increasing your defense by 1 stage. And we are going to use Sucker Punch as our fast move because when your only coverage comes in the form of fast move, you have a good alternative such as Sucker Punch, you tend to want to use it, and we will pair it with Lapras in the lead, with Psywave, Sparkling Aura and Ice Beam, and Tentacruel in the back with Acid, Scald and Blizzard. You can choose to opt for Poison Sting as well. I think Acid has that balance between the damage output as well as energy generation, which is quite needed in the Ultra League. And with that, let us get into the video. So as you see, the one glaring weakness is against a Thunderfang Steelix, because Bellibolt doesn't have charge moves that can go against it, and Lapras and Tentacruel both are weak against Thunderfang. And with that, we are just going to stay in with Lapras first, because Lapras can tank quite a bit of hits before we come into our Bellibolt. Try to ramp up our defense stat as much as possible. And against this Bellibolt, they will not try to go for a Psychic Fence. Usually they will try to go for a Earthquake immediately. Therefore we can just safely shield one time and go for the farm down. And here at the back, they have a Galarian Moltres. So of course, in this position with already a 2 times defense buff, we can just go ahead with the Parabolic Charges to ramp up even more our bulk. And as you can see here, Fly does nothing. If they do run Payback, that they will have gone for it, and most probably this is an all flying charge move combo with Brave Bird as their other option, and they just could not do anything about the Bellibolt. And Bellibolt is still alive to go against their last Pokemon in the form of Zapdos. And this is where it gets very tricky, because Zapdos is going to be super effective against both our backline, but because we are already 4 stages buffed against the Zapdos, we are able to take both of their shields no problem at all. And we are going to let go of our Lapras, knowing that we have a healthy Tentacruel in the back with 1 shield. So we are just going to safely shield here. If it is a Thunderbolt, then we are going to get to our charge move in time to take the win. So going into the second match, another Pokemon that could be a problem for this team is a Shadow Rhyperior. Rhyperior has access to Rock Wrecker, which is super effective against Lapras because of the Ice subtyping, and of course it has access to Mud Slap, which is super effective against our backline. But we are going to shield the first time, and they immediately swap into their Licky, and we swap into our Bellibolt because I think that is the best matchup for it, and we do not want our Bellibolt anywhere near the Shadow Rhyperior. But here we found out that their Licky is a double nuke Licky with Shadow Ball as well as Earthquake, which means that Bellibolt was not able to get one of their shields. But it is okay, because now we are able to farm down with our Tentacruel and come out hopefully with a Scald to threaten their Rhyperior. And here we are going to throw it right before they get to another Breaking Swipe, and really swap into our Lapras to throw a Sparking Aura, because at this point we are going to be threatening their second shield, and we do. And now we are just going to try to get to the Sparking Aura, but they catch it on their Talonflame, which we don't mind, because right now Lapras is in a very good position and has the health and the energy lead to go for another Sparkling Aura to take down their Rhyperior. So as you can see, in the first 2 games is very tight, but we are able to pull it off because of the spamminess of this team as well as the bulk that it has. And what do we do against Drapion here in the third game? Drapion is one that we do not have any fast move pressure, because all of them will be resisted by it, whether it's Sucker Punch, Psywave or Acid. So we are going to rely on the charge move to get the better of Drapion. But they immediately swap into Blastoise, which means that our Bellibolt again can ramp up that defense so that we are able to tank the moves faster. That means we are going to come out here relatively healthy with a solid defense up against anything that comes in. And here we are going to try to go for the Zap Cannon, knowing that we are bulky enough to take at least one of these charge moves. And here we are going to be able to make it and throw the Zap Cannon against them. And just look how much Zap Cannon does. Just to put in context, Guzzlord has a super high HP stat and it's a dragon type. A dragon type that resists electric types, and they just got their 50% of their health taken out just like that against us. And now they go back into their Dripion, and we are going to come in with our Tentacruel to go against them. Because I think they showed earlier that they have Sludge Bomb as the other charge move, we are going to have a very good matchup with our Tentacruel, because Tentacruel does resist both of their charge, basically resist their whole charge, resist their whole charge move as well as their fast move, right? So here we are going to just spam Scald. At this range, Scald will do enough, especially when we have 2 Pokemons left and they are going to be pressured for that shield, and we immediately swap into our Lapras to throw that Sparkling Aria to take the win. So in the 4th battle, we have Skeledirge in the lead. Skeledirge is a fire type, that means Incinerate will do neutral to our Lapras, and look at how Incinerate chunks away. So in this instance against Skeledirge, what we want to do is we will want to play the 2 shield scenario, because we will be able to outspam them in this instance, but instead they immediately swap into their Bellibolt, into their Shadow Fralgator. So we are going to swap into our Bellibolt to try to get a hit on energy. And you might be asking, why do I not go to my Tentacruel, right? But this is the reason why, because now we need our Lapras for the Flygon, and at least we have our Tentacruel in the back that will be able to handle the Skeledirge if needed. And look at that, with that defense buff, even Earth Power from a Flygon, which is super effective, does not do that much, which says something about Bellibolt and its ranking in the Ultra League. It will, with just like 1 or 2 buffs in its defense, it's able to tank super effective damage, which otherwise it wouldn't have been able to. And that is what we want from our Pokemon, because our Pokemon have to tank moves and not be pressured to use the 2 shields that we have. And here we get the attack debuff from them, and we immediately tank their Shadow Ball, no problem at all, and we are able to acid them down. So in the last battle, we have Tentacruel in the lead. So what we want to do is we want to just stay in, even though we don't have any super effective charge moves against them. We will deal super effective with the Psywave, and we both simultaneously swap out, which is very bad on our side because they swap into Bellibolt and we swap into Tentacruel, and they are running Thundershock Bellibolt instead, meaning it is going to be charging those parabolic charge even faster. So we are just trying to get those attack debuffs if possible, which we were not able to do it, but because of that we have to come into our Bellibolt and soak up all these attacks against them, and hopefully get the attack and hopefully farm them down for all the energy that it is worth, and try to find out what is the last Pokemon that they have in the back to accompany this Tentacruel. So here our Bellibolt is already at about half health, and we have our largely healthy Lapras in the back, and we are going to dish out all those parabolic charges just so that we are able to tank all their moves, and we are trying to get their last shield if possible. And here we are just going to try and get their last shield, and we do, and we immediately swap into our Lapras in the hopes that we are able to get the Sparkling Aria before they swap out, but unfortunately we are not able to, and they do get an attack drop on our Lapras, which makes this end game a little bit shaky, but we are able to hang on just through sheer bulk, and we have another attack drop, and we are going to wait it out with the switch timer and swap into the Bellibolt to reset the attack debuffs, and here we are able to get the sparking area to take the opponent out. So as you can see that this team Bellibolt is super tanky. What it can do to the opponent is just ridiculous. It just is for me, I feel like Bellibolt with parabolic charge now is almost like giving you an extra shield, which is very much needed in the Ultra League with all those hard hitting Pokemons and moves. And yeah, I think the number one ranking in the Ultra League is very much justified for Bellibolt, and Lapras of course is always good with that Psy-Wave, charging up the charge moves as fast as it could, and Tentacruel with the buff is also very helpful. So let me know what you think about Bellibolt. Have you tried it? Is it something that is going to remain a mainstay in Ultra League, right? With that mono-type charge move combination, and or should it get like a coverage charge moves if possible? So let me know what you think, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.